Today's video is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one web platform that makes it easy to create your own outstanding website for your business or personal needs. But more about that in a minute. So, in my video from Friday, I mentioned that I wanted new features for the Steam Deck. I didn't think my pleas would be answered so quickly, though. The SteamOS 3.5 preview is here, and boy howdy is it jam-packed with new updates and goodies. We'll review them all in this video. Alright, first up, let's talk about how to opt into the preview yourself. On your deck, hit the Steam button and then go to the settings. Scroll down to the system option and then under the beta participation heading, select preview. You'll need to restart your deck, and then once it's completed, go back to the same menu and then check for updates. Now, this is going to apply the latest preview of SteamOS to your device. Now that you've opted into the beta, we can talk through some of the most important features and changes. Granted, I'm simply not going to be able to touch on everything here because there's so much that happened in this update, but you will be able to get a good idea of what's new in SteamOS 3.5. But before we get to that, let's talk about this video's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace makes creating a beautiful, fresh, and modern website easy with Fluid Engine, a next-generation web design system that makes unleashing your creativity easy. You can customize templates to your liking with their reimagined drag-and-drop technology on desktop or even mobile. You can also use Squarespace to sell your custom merch. It's a great way to engage with your audience, scale your brand, and create a passive income stream. All you need to do is design your products, and Squarespace will handle the production, inventory, and shipping for you. Another thing I love about Squarespace is that with Squarespace extensions, you can connect your store to vetted third-party tools, which will extend the functionality of your website. And really, the sky's the limit here. As a designer by trade, I needed a simple way to present my custom designs that reflect my brand. Using Squarespace's tools, I was able to get my new merch shop up and running in just a few hours. Right now, Squarespace is offering a free 14-day trial plus 10% off your first purchase. Head over to squarespace.com/GardnerBryant and use the offer code GardnerBryant to take advantage of this deal and let them know that I sent you. It was so easy to use Squarespace, and I am glad that I did. And thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. First up is the Adjust Display Colors option, and it's been added to the settings menu. The default color rendering for Steam Deck has been adjusted to emulate the sRGB color gamut, which means everything should have a slightly warmer and more vibrant appearance. Valve has built new controls for these settings, the color vibrancy and color temperature sliders. The color vibrance has three options: native, sRGB, and boosted. Native, what we've come to expect from the deck's screen. sRGB emulates the sRGB primaries in a smooth manner that doesn't introduce gradient clipping. And the boosted preset emulates a wider color gamut display, resulting in an increased apparent vibrance. However, this may result in gradient clipping. Other display options include both HDR and VRR output on an external display, but do note that these options require the screen and the USB-C adapter to support these output modes. They've also changed the quick access menu to separate the scaling and filtering modes. They've also fixed touchscreen orientation while the external display is connected, and this is huge. This is a huge issue that I have been experiencing since day one on the Steam Deck, where you expect the display to be in landscape mode when it's connected, but when you touch it, it's in portrait mode. So the orientations are way off. Glad that that's fixed now. But that was just the display-related changes. Now it's time for the general changes, and boy, are there some really exciting ones here too. First, the long-awaited SMT fix has finally landed, meaning that the remaining scenarios where a game would require manually disabling SMT should be resolved. Second, and this is massive, external devices are now auto-mounted when connected to the Steam Deck. This means that any USB storage you connect to the device is now accessible from within game mode without having to switch to the desktop, mount the storage, and then go back into game mode. This facilitates having extra storage connected to a dock and being able to just connect the deck and play a game from the storage connected to the dock. There are new graphics drivers that include many performance and functionality improvements too, including specific fixes for Starfield and other games. Valve has also improved the speed of resuming from sleep. They have improved Bluetooth connection stability, which is extremely hard to say, especially with multiple controllers connected. They've also enabled performance overlay customization through a config file, which a lot of people seem to have been waiting for. Now let's talk about firmware updates. Valve has introduced firmware version 1.16, which adds voltage offset settings as well as improved robustness for the firmware reset button cord. Now, if you didn't know, you can reset your firmware settings to factory defaults by holding volume, quick access, and power buttons at the same time, and that will reset the firmware settings for your Steam Deck. They've also introduced an update for the controller's firmware that fixes an issue for the thumbstick touch sensors, where they would occasionally lose touch periodically. Finally, as with other SteamOS updates, this release pulls in new performance, security, and stability fixes for the underlying operating system. Of note here, we have a recent version of KDE Plasma, which is the desktop mode for SteamOS. This includes a new window tiling system, an updated Discover store that includes improved search and a new homepage, and updated desktop widgets. All in all, this is a huge and exciting update for the Steam Deck. It comes at exactly the right time, too. My favorite feature so far is the auto mounting of external storage. This enables a whole world of extra functionality for the deck in game mode, and it's something I've wanted for ages. But I want to know, what is your favorite change? Leave me a comment and let me know. I would love to hear from you. Now, I think that's going to do it for this video, though. I want to give a special shout out to my friends on Patreon and my YouTube members. It's because of these fine folks I'm able to continue doing this work. If you believe in what I'm doing here, consider making a pledge over on Patreon or as a YouTube member. It's all greatly appreciated. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the fun stuff I'm doing here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.